Jam on toast!
Hey there, welcome to Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is 2. John dies at the end. This is in response to Roosterteeth's new podcast, horribly named Screenplay. I think the official hashtag is hashtag Screenplay. I think the one that's actually might make a kickoff is going to be hashtag RT Screenplay, but keep an eye out for whatever. So the short sell on this one is that a paranormal investigator and his brother end up with a chance to save the world based on this drug they discover. My love for this one is the basement scene. It's got some great visual effects. It's got the girl that explodes into snakes, which I especially liked. Meat Man was pretty interesting to see. And of course, the knob that turns into a knob. My hate for this one is it's just super obscure villains. You've got the weird people from the other dimension. Before you even know about that, you've got this weird guy with a slug. Just, what's going on? It's an extension of another problem I'll talk about, but what are we doing? That's the feeling that I get. The MVP for this was the main character, Dave, played by Chase Williamson. I definitely think that he brought a lot to the role, and that role was vital to the story. We center on him. His brother John would probably be a close second, if not a tie, because they really feed off each other, and it shows their relationship as well. Let's go on the categories.
Aesthetics.
This does have some very interesting special effect type stuff, but not particular of the look of it. For everything that I'm like, oh, that's super interesting. There's like 2 other things. I'm like, why is that like that? Because the way the drug or the soy sauce moves, that's super interesting. The way it seems like it's alive, but the slugs are dumb. The stupid masks that the interdimensionals use. The whole thing with Marconi is just weird. Meat Man is interesting, but The knob to the knob thing was funny, but it's like, really, that's what we had to do? And we just see several things throughout there. It's a continual thing. It's like about half of it I like, half of it I don't. But in the upscale, it's all well produced. Does have some good special effects, and hey, they did a good job with it. Aesthetics gets an 83.
Character development.
But I hate it was an extension of this problem. The characters in this are not developed well. We get introduced, we get a very ramshackle introduction to the characters, and other than most of the movie being John telling a story to another person about them, we get very little from it. John gets probably the most because he's in various states of existence throughout the whole thing, and with the psychic effects of the soy sauce, it pulls a lot of things into question about what's going on. But you get plucky, unlucky heroes, very bland supporting characters, even worse villains, and it doesn't really go anywhere all the way up to the end of the movie. Character development gets a 60.
Storyline.
The story wasn't much better. It's paranormal guys do paranormal investigation. They run into this other thing. They deal with the cops and all the supernatural stuff in between. What makes it more interesting, surprisingly, is the story being told in the story, which I could probably have done without, honestly, but it does help you distract you from the mediocrity of the main story. As soon as we start going with the other dimensional stuff and the giant tentacle beast thing, you kind of lost me at that point. Storyline gets a 7.
Compulsion.
Here's the fucked up thing, is that I saw this movie before. I remember liking it. I thought it was a different movie. So the whole first half of the movie, I'm like, I thought I'd seen this. Why don't I recognize anything? And sure enough, by the end of the movie, I picked out all the parts that I remembered, but I changed them slightly in my brain so they were a little bit less, so they were better. I'm probably going to forget about this movie again, and I'm probably going to watch it again next year or something, just because I remember having a generally good association with it, but it's not a fabulous movie by any means. Compulsion gets a 75. Now, total all that up, we get an average of 72. For my wrap-up review, I'm just going to say that this is a decent movie. It's very abstract. It seems like it's kind of got ADD with itself. It's very distracted, if a movie can be distracted. And ultimately, it just made me want to watch Odd Thomas. That's it for me. I'm Cameron. If you don't like me, bite me.
If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.